Hey guys, what's up? It's Angelina and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be continuing my Retrying foundation series. So initially I thought that I was so close to being finished with the series, but then I went through my little list and I realized we have quite a bit to go. Maybe like 4 or 5 more products to get through before I can finally wrap up this video. I did get a comment on my last video, where I was reviewing the Fenty Beauty Easy Drops, and someone commented, if this isn't the best one, then what is? And the answer to that is going to be in my huge foundation declutter and roundup series, where I sit down and I go through every single foundation in my collection, give you guys my thoughts and rank them, and then at the end we will hopefully be able to pick at least a top 2 or 3 in terms of skin tints and foundations and just complexion products. So stick around for that video if you are interested in finding out the best of the best in my opinion and for my skin type. But today we are going to be testing a new foundation, so let's get into it. I have quite a bit to test out. I don't know which one I want to go with first. We're going to be retesting this Huda Beauty Faux Filter Skin Finish Buildable Coverage Foundation Stick. I have the shade 340G, which is in the shade Baklava. I can tell you off the bat that I have hated this every single time I have tried it, so that has led me to not using it at all. This is a stick foundation, which honestly I feel like I do sometimes have good luck with. Like, you guys know I love my Merit sticks. I do have a video all on that product, but yeah, for some reason this just never looks good. But we're gonna test it again because it's been a really long time since I've used it. I've had that one sitting in my collection for some time and I'm just scared that it might break me out. So I might not keep that on. I mean, we'll go based off of how we're feeling. So this retails for $39 and there are quite a bit of shades. It is vegan, it's a natural finish, it's supposed to give medium coverage. The coverage says full to light, so I'm sure that means it's buildable and you can do whatever you gotta do. It is fragrance-free, transfer-proof, waterproof, humidity and sweat resistant. It says the formula melts into the skin for a natural filtered finish. Wow, there is a ton of shades actually, so that's a good thing, and it is fragrance-free. So I'm scared, but let's do it. Let's do it. The only thing that I did already were my eyebrows, which I have, been doing off camera just so I don't waste your time basically. So what I normally do is one side with a brush and one side with a sponge. I did recently wash all of my brushes and sponges, so you're in for a good one. So I'm going to use my LYS foundation brush because this seems to just be one of my favorites when it comes to applying anything on the skin recently. So this is what it looks like. It comes in a stick and you can, scroll up or down. I don't know if this shade is going to work for me, but we'll see. And this is what my skin is looking like. As you guys can see, not a whole lot of breakouts, but a lot of redness and pigmentation. So I'm going to do what it says, which is swipe directly onto the skin. So you guys can see right here, you can kind of see like the little pores in my skin just from swiping it on. And I think that that is so weird. Like, I just don't like the way that looks, but we're going to blend. Okay, so it blended out really easily, which I like, and it honestly looks pretty decent on the skin. We are going to try to build this just in my cheeks and kind of any areas that I have pigmentation. I was expecting the shade to be a little too light. So I can tell on this side, I don't know if you guys can see, but I feel like in the cheek area where I have more texture and maybe a little bit more like pores and some dryness, you can kind of see a little bit of that texture enhanced because of the stick. But honestly, that's me being really nitpicky because I feel like overall this looks really good, like a lot better than I was anticipating. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna swipe on, because that's what the directions say to do. Usually a sponge will absorb a lot of the product, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so as expected, I feel like the sponge did take away a little bit of coverage, but I still think it looks really natural and really good on the skin regardless of that. Like, I feel like the sponge actually made it look a little bit more natural. Like here, it's like a little bit more heavy in this area, and on this side, it just kind of looks like my skin. So I kind of am liking the way the sponge looks, but I will say if you want to build actual coverage, then a brush seems to be better. Okay, and honestly, that second swipe in this area seems to be exactly what I needed. So I'm not gonna lie, upon just application, I think this actually looks really good. I really hope this doesn't break me out. Like, now that I'm seeing the way that it looks on the skin, it's low-key making me want to actually try to do a wear test. But I just feel like if I do a wear test and it breaks me out, I'm going to cry. I'm definitely going to set it because I do set everything when I do these kind of reviews. But I feel like it's almost like so matte that I don't even feel like I would need to set it. But I'm still going to set it. I just think that it looks very matte. We're going to get into the rest of my complexion. So you can totally skip this if you'd like. But we're just going to do the rest of my makeup. So I'm actually going to use my YESSTYLE Super Serum Silk Concealer in the shade Medium 1. I've actually really been liking this. I have a video testing out some YESSTYLE products, but I've been liking this. I feel like it does a really good job at looking natural but still giving me coverage. As you guys can see, like, that just instantly brightened the under eye, and it's a very lightweight concealer, so I have been kind of reaching for this on more so of like a daily basis, like when I'm going out and doing errands and stuff, because I just feel like it is very easy to use and it's not a very like finicky product. I'm gonna take it a little bit under the under eye, kind of like onto the cheek area, and then a little bit through my brow bone area, just so I can get kind of like an overall brightened effect. I'm kind of in like a no makeup kind of mood, so I think we'll probably just do something very chill. Blush. This is the Yummy Skin blush in the shade Dancing Queen. I love this. Like, this does such a good job at making the skin look blurred, and it's honestly one of my favorite formulas for a blush. I also just find this to be, like, obviously, I'm sure you guys can tell, extremely pigmented. I actually do find it to be very blurring. I have an entire dedicated review video on this blush because I was sent it by Danessa Myricks and I was very excited, and honestly I can say it is living up to the hype. Just kind of tapping it, and then whatever is left I'm kind of bringing it towards the center of the face just so we can kind of have like this uniform blushing. I'm actually going to use my Half Magic Beauty, this is actually a blush in the shade Magic Brownie. You guys have seen this a million times, but I'm actually going to use it to kind of contour almost and bronze because it's like a brown tone. So I'm going to focus it towards the bottom part of the cheek, and then I'm also just going to take it onto the forehead area. This is definitely more of like a reddish tone kind of brown, so it definitely can be used to mimic that natural tan. Like, if you were my skin tone, I feel good. Like, I feel like I could go out like this and I'm fine. Today, I'll set with a Huda Beauty powder in Banana Bread because we're using a Huda Beauty product all over the skin. So, you know, just to kind of go with the theme of things. And I kind of let it sit for a little bit. By a little bit, I mean as soon as I'm done putting everything everywhere and pressing it onto the skin, I go in with a fluffy brush and I just kind of ensure that there's no leftover powder and that everything is really blended into the skin. It's very much a no makeup kind of look, which I tend to go for anyways on my days when I'm not filming. So this is what the skin is looking like, and honestly I think that everything looks really good on top of the Huda Beauty stick, which is ridiculous because I remember that looked like garbage on me when I tried it a couple times. So now I don't get it. Like, I'm not sure what changed. Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb Heat. And this provides a little bit of a tint, so I look a little less dead and a little more dimensional. The check-in time is 12:33. I think I am gonna do a wear test. And I will check in natural lighting for those of you guys that have been asking. Some videos I do actually do check-ins in natural lighting, and other videos I don't. It just kind of depends on what's going on that day. Okay guys, so that is it for right now. I will do a natural light check-in, and then I'll check in with you guys in a few more hours. I have a couple things to do on the computer and some things I need to get situated for the next few weeks. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. So we're about 4-ish hours in, and I'm starting to get dewy in like the center of my face, but I will say this is looking really good. So it's been about 5 hours now, and I wanted to just check in with you guys, let you guys know my thoughts. I just did a natural light check-in, I think an hour or two ago. This is looking so much better than I anticipated. Like, the first time I tried this, I remember it separating and looking extremely textured, and just after wearing it for a few hours my skin looked really bad. And I'm not sure if the reason why I'm loving it so much now is because my skin type has kind of changed over the year, and especially being on acne medication, my skin is a little bit more red, but also I just tend to break out a lot less. Based on the way that it looks, it's definitely starting to get a little bit dewy, but it's like a really nice, like, healthy dewy look. It's honestly doing such a good job at keeping my oils at bay. I still do tend to get oily in the T-zone, and you know, this was looking very matte in the beginning, but now I feel like it's worn in and it just looks so much more healthier. I looked at this in natural lighting and like in my house in the mirror in front, and then also outside, and I feel like my skin looks very poreless, which I just, obviously one of my favorite things. Like, I feel like when it comes to dealing with acne, you know, first you're dealing with acne and then you're like, oh my god, I would do anything to just have like these bumps go away. Then once the major acne and breakouts are gone, then you're like, oh my god, I would do anything for the hyperpigmentation to go away. And then the hyperpigmentation starts going away, and then you're like, I would do anything to like not have little tiny pores right here. Like, it's almost like nothing is ever enough. There's definitely moments where I look back and I'm like, my skin looks really good. Like, what was I talking about? So, you know, I think I just tend to be nitpicky when it comes to what we consume on social media and TikTok filters and the media in general. I think sometimes there's this perception that people don't have texture or they don't have pores, and like some people are just walking around with like 100% perfect skin. And while I do think some people have really good skin, I just know that texture especially is normal, and even if you're not dealing with breakouts or hyperpigmentation, a lot of people who have really great skin sometimes have texture. So in regards to texture with this product, I think it does a really good job at minimizing texture and just kind of gliding over everything and making it look super smooth. Obviously, it did a pretty decent job at covering pigmentation and actual acne, which I am really happy about, but the reason why I think this actually looks so good is because it's kind of like the whole package. Like, it's covering the acne, the hyperpigmentation, and it's also making the skin look good texturally. So I feel like for me, this immediately has gone up in the ranking of ranking every single foundation in my collection. So I'm really happy about that. As for it breaking me out, I'm not sure about that yet. I'm the type of person that breaks out the next day. So keep an eye out in the description or the comment section, because I will update you. Because I do film these videos like a week or two in advance to when you guys are seeing them. So by then I'll know if this has broken me out or not. breaking, like I can never with the past tense. If you're someone who has sensitive skin like me or has acne, do you guys ever have those products that you know breaks you out like the next day, but they look so good, so like sometimes you'll sacrifice? You'll be like, dang, I have a really important event tonight, so I'm just gonna use this because I need to look good tonight, and then if I break out tomorrow, that's tomorrow's problem. Like, I'm focused on what's happening tonight. And I really hope that's not the case with this, but this might be something that I keep around just for those moments when I'm like just needing to look good in the moment and not really thinking about how it's gonna affect my skin. I think Huda did a really good job with this product. Let me know your thoughts on this. I know this product has a ton of mixed reviews, so if you love it, if you hate it, let me know your experience. I'm definitely curious, and stay tuned for more retrying foundations with me. Also, just stay tuned in general because I do post twice a week. I post every Sunday and Tuesday for the fall months. That's kind of my schedule right now, and I do the occasional bonus video. So last week I posted like 4 videos because I was just on a roll, but you know, we're slowly but surely finishing the series. I don't want to overwhelm you guys. You guys will probably be seeing some random makeup videos mixed in the series. So make sure to subscribe to stay tuned, and you can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Lemon8 for short form content from me. My handles are at ANGELINASERENAXO. So feel free to follow me over there as well, and we can DM, we can message back and forth, and you know, sometimes I feel like it's just easier over there. But I'm still a long-form girly at heart, so make sure you're subscribed. I do also have a lifestyle channel if you want to check it out. I mostly do vlogs over there. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.